Hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. Good times with Scar here, and welcome back to the wonderful worlds of Hermits and Crafting. And we're flying through Scarlandia in anticipation for a massive new addition here in the city, and that is the entire covering up of the skyscraper landscaping in this area. This portion of the base has been exposed for the entirety of the base. So from the very beginning, when we built the roads and the tunnels, this entire area has been exposed, and it has been a huge eyesore on the base. I mean, we have ancient ruins of the former hobbits that used to live in the area. Then over here, we've got the brightly colored wool pen and our cows. We have some random chests laying around. We've got poor little Olaf over there in his tomb. We've got some kind of like poorly designed koi pond with like a creeper explosion. Oh man, I am so excited to finally see this area covered over and properly landscaped. I think it'll be just the absolute beautifulest thing once we have that complete today. So let's take a land and look at it on the map so you can see this kind of gigantic pentagon shape is the last remaining area that still needs to be landscaped. So I've got some really amazing plans to do inside there. Now, these are kind of experimental, and I'm not 100% sure if they're going to work out, so I'm not going to spoil them yet. So I'm going to need to put a little more work into that design before we actually execute it in this area. Another thing we're going to do today is build another section on top of the skyscraper. Now, the reason for that is that we need to put an area for the portal. So when you come out of the portal, I want this area to be, you know, a place where you can kind of look out over the city and all the different directions. And I think that'll be really cool. So we're going to use similar theme that we've done down in this lower area. And of course, I've placed carpet above some of the windows and little areas that are exposed to keep creepers from spawning. And then my inventory is set up and ready to go. We've got ourselves a little bit of light, a little bit of dark, and of course our accent of blue. So I think that's going to look really cool. And yeah, so I think all of that is set. So building another section onto here. And then the final thing, this is going to be a jam-packed episode. We need to head to Hermit Hollow and place an order at the Mumbo of the Jumbo's door shop so we can properly have a garage door for the creeper farm. So I think that is going to be fantastic. So we talked about that in our last episode. I want a garage door that goes down and up, and apparently Mumbo knows how to make this happen. So we're definitely going to place an order over there. I think that'll be really fantastic. And maybe potentially when you come out of the portal, maybe we could have doors on either end open up. Oh, that would be really cool. I have zero clue how to do that, but it sounds amazing. Also, we built this amazing tunnel, which is pretty cool. Got that all set up, and I've been kind of digging back into here, trying to get this just a little bit deeper. I just want this to continue to go on and on and on. It just gives the whole city this great feel when you come out of it over the bridge, and soon we'll have the towers rising up into the sky. And man, I love it. I love it. Thank you guys so much for always tuning in and hanging out with me as I build, because I absolutely love this. This is so much fun. Have you guys with me means the world. So let me get a few more things set up. We'll head over to the Hermit Hollow, place our order, and then we'll get this episode underway. Welcome back to Hermit Hollow, and before we head off the Mumbos, I gotta stop at my own shop here, and you guys have to remind me to put some proper signage in this area, because you come in here and you're just like, oh, little dioramas here. We got the desert, we've got some standard forests, mesas, snow, scar cliffs, and of course the area that I ran out of glass and still need to put glass right here. But we got the Yellowstone volcanic area, so yeah. I need to put signs in here so people know what this actually is. And don't forget to remind the other hermits that Scar's Landscape Shop's open for all their landscaping needs here on Season 5. And I believe the Mumbo of the Jumbo shop is just around here. There we go. Awesome. So I sure wish there was more activity down here. Man, there's so many little plots and stuff like that that's just so unused. Anyway, let's head inside here and look at all these like weird colors and stuff behind there. Ooh, that's fancy. I like some of that exposed redstone back there. It's kind of like a, you know, like a computer, you know, looking into like the side panel that's made of glass or something. That's really cool. Anyway, open up. Oh, wow. Okay. So I think he's going to know how to make what we need. Let's see what we've got here. Welcome to the door store. We sell piston doors. If you need a piston door, then take one of the books from the chest and write out a request, then put it back in the top of the chest. Thank you, Mumbo of the Jumbo. Perfect. All right. So I got to figure out how to write what I want, because there's like names for this particular door, but I always forget what it is. So I think I'm just going to go like, hey, Mumbo, can I have a garage door? Thanks, Scar. Have a good day. Bye. I'll write something. Hold on. Welcome back, and we've got ourselves a book written up and ready to roll. Hey, Mumbo, I'd like to request a garage door style piston door for the CDF, Cat Defense Force, in Scar City. Location doodly doo doo boop 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 bum. Thanks, Scar. So I think that makes sense. I'll send him a Discord message with a little bit more detail, but I think that that will definitely work. And I made sure I flew back and got the coordinates because I don't want Mumbo all lost around the server. No. So we're all set up there. Thank you, Mumbo. I know we can do it. So that'll be really cool. Adds so much more life to the CDF. That is probably my favorite build, really based on the fact that it just has life to it. You know, helicopters and the sign and the cat on it and all that. I want to add some more of that life to some of the other buildings that really make it. Why am I in a hole? Why am I always in holes? Seriously, I want to know how many times I have fallen in a hole in a stream and a video. Like, I just need to know these things. Oh, no, I can't get out of there. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, I hit my head. I hit my head. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Here we go. Boom. No, what in the world? How do I get out of here? I always fly out of these things. Why are they all sealed up? Okay, this one's good. There we go. And off we go back to Scarlandia. And I gotta point out one thing as we fly back. Definitely watch Azuma's stream, a highlight from his stream maybe on Monday. He tries to organize my base and it doesn't go well. I think he rage quit the stream. I'm gonna throw that out there. I'm pretty sure he rage quit. Oh man, it was actually pretty hilarious. I was laughing pretty hard after that. So let me get a few things ready here, and we'll start building the top to the skyscraper. Let's get busy. Now, I'm still working on the landscaping in my head, kind of figuring out what kind of trees, what kind of elevation we're going to use, and of course, some of those cool little details that I'm really excited to show you. Man, I hope this fountain design works. Anyway, let's just start working on this area. So, of course, this is where the portal is going to be, and I'm still thinking about how it's going to be decorated within. Maybe we'll do what we've done in the Nether, where the portal is expanding in all those weird shapes. We could do that too. So, we'll think about that. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to start building up these sections. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11. Perfect. The question is, do I want to bring it up that high? I think I do. Perfect. Okay, so that'll give us a 3-3 window. Perfect. Awesome. So one of the cool things right now is it's snowing where I live, and you know, it doesn't snow super often. Maybe like we usually get maybe 2 snowstorms a year at best. And most of the snowstorms where I live now, they kind of consist of a lot of wind and like really small little flakes because the wind has just ravaged them. And then it usually turns into just a ton of ice. But right now it is very subtly snowing with these giant big flakes. And it's just so peaceful watching it. We used to have that a lot when I lived more in the Portland area. That's the kind of snow that we had there in like a little bit larger quantities than we do in like the Columbia River Gorge, where it's a lot more windy, but so beautiful here. But it's just so peaceful. Like I'm like, you know, I should be actually making this video, not watching the snowfall. And I think we get like the most perfect snow amount every year. It's just like 1 or 2 days of snow, and then it's just gone. I just love the weather around here. It's just like the most perfect weather where it's like 1 minute, you know, it might be super, super hot for like a week. And then after that, that super hot's gone. It's like my perfect weather. You get like a little bit of both, you know, you get a little bit of heat in the summer, you get a little bit of snow in the winter. But other than that, it's usually 42 degrees or 75. It's pretty great. Anyway, let's take a little land here. So this is the basic shape, right? It's very similar to what we've done on the lower area. And the next section here, let's work on this one together real quick. So we'll grab out just a little bit of our cyan hardened clay. No, I'm never going to say terracotta. I'm not going there. Not going there. Let's see, let's grab out our ice. There we go. And then we'll bring that up 3 blocks. Beautiful. Now this section looks like it needs a quick fill in. There we go. We'll bring those together. And then right at the top here, so we're mimicking the windows below us. So it still has that kind of integrated feel. So it all feels a part of one another. There we go. And then we'll pull these guys out just 3 blocks like so. And then we'll take this, sky high up into the air. Beautiful. So I want to know from you guys, what is your weather? So in the comments, hashtag my weather. And I want to know what's going on where you live. Is it, nice and warm, or is the snow just coming down and it's 0 degrees? Let me know. Here, it's only 33 degrees. It's not terrible at all. To me, I'm cold. But I know my brother, it's probably like 0 where he lives. I'm loving that. I think that looks really cool. It's a really great extension of the existing structure below here. Now, one thing I'd like to do is take this design right here and then replicate that again in this part right there. And I think that'd actually look really, really nice. So let's shoot over here and build this section up. So we would go 1 block back, 2 like so, grab ourselves out a little hardened clay, and then run this. I'm actually going to push this back by 1 block just to give it a bit more depth, and then jump up on the top and then cut that out, grab ourselves our accent color and our nice little electric blue. I love electric blue. It is one of my favorite colors. Orange is my favorite color. Electric blue comes in a second, very close second. This is the color that I love painting my cars in GTA after. I love this car. I have one. It was named, I think it was named the Musk after Elon Musk. It was the Tesla equivalent in GTA. And it was this color, and it was amazing. I think this is good. I think we're going to bring this up around to this height or so, but let's just jump down and kind of see how that looks together with the piece below it, since we're kind of mimicking the same shape below. Oh, that'll look fantastic. I love it. I love it. So let me work on this just a little bit more, and then we got to think. Then we definitely got to think how we're going to do this backside, because I don't know if we're going to have, let's land here on the police car. I don't know if we're going to have enough space to do these kind of windows up there. So we're definitely going to have to put on our thinking cap on that design. So let me finish that and we'll start working on this backside. First scar mistake of the day. I turn around, fly up here to look at this from above, turn around, and we've created ourselves a beautiful waterfall. You know what? I kind of like the waterfall though here. Look at that thing. It kind of cuts through that one beam right there. Kind of loving it. But I am actually liking this design. I think it will look pretty cool. I was kind of worried about it being repetitive, but I think we can fix that being the kind of smaller windows as it goes up. So I think that'll be nice. And once there's literally a skyscraper on top of here, I think any concern will be washed away with the water down the edge of the building. No, we got another breach over here. What is going on? I've knocked all the torches out. I just don't want to see Bob the Creeper building inspector. There's just those days. Where you're like, I got no energy for Bob the Building Creeper inspector today. Anyway, I think that is actually looking really good. I'm very pleased with this. Let's actually see what it looks like from the road. So let's take a land right next to the cats. Oh yeah, absolutely fantastic. And like I mentioned before, potentially having some other door here, or having the kind of the expanded ooze of the portal like seeping around the edges. Well, there's so many ideas we could do for the portal once we get to that point, but I am liking that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hit a super fast build mode, and we're going to whip this design all the way around. So I'll see you in just a minute. Hit it. End of super fast build mode, and we have the front and the back built. Now we need to focus on the side portion of the build. So let's take a loop around the sunset there, and this is where we need to work. And down below, of course, we have these 2 windows, both the same amount of blocks height wise. Now in this section here, I believe we're around 12 or so blocks that we can work with in this section. So it's gonna be a little bit tricky to figure this one out. So I'm going to think about that for just a moment. I'm going to go over here. So this is kind of a work in progress. Let me get a little scaffolding block there. Beautiful. So this is kind of a work in progress in this section right here. It's a little bit out of scale with the bottom section down below here. Let's take a quick fly below. There we go. So you see that little doorway, and there's those little windows, and there's just a gigantic square up there. So I'm trying to find a way to shrink that Does that make sense? Because it does look a little out of scale. So I think we'll figure it out. We'll mess around with this just a little bit more and make that look a little bit better. But boy, does it ever look amazing from up here. Like, look at this. Look at that view of the bridge and the endless tunnel out there. Oh, that is really cool. And even out to these sides look pretty nice. And I haven't actually looked out this way. Well, eventually we'll get something looking good on that side. But this one over here, that's the money shot right there. That is looking fantastic. Ow, 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 what's going on? I've become Ant-Man. Help me, kitties. No, you know what? This is the thing. I love cats and all, but if we were smaller than them, they'd eat us. And they're going to eat me now. I'm Ant Scar. I'm a little Ant Scar under there. Anyway, so let's pop over here. So, oh man, I really don't know how to do this section. This one's gonna take a little bit more thinking. I'm gonna have to sit here and just stare at it for a little while. That's what I do in Minecraft sometimes. I don't know if anybody on the server has ever noticed it, but sometimes I'm just standing here, just blank staring at a building, and I'll do it for like 5-10 minutes. And eventually you see what you want and you're like, that's what I'm gonna build. That's what I'm gonna do. And that's what I'm gonna do right now. So I'll see you after I do my blank stare in super fast build mode. Hit it one more time. End of super fast build mode, and we now have the new section built on top of the work we did in our prior episode. And yeah, I think it came out really well. We can fly through here and take a land, and we can envision together all the things we're going to build in here together, which I think might be pretty cool. So I'm absolutely loving this. There's so many colors and details in this wall. It's just kind of interesting how many different shades of color. So I'm kind of loving that. So potentially we could do some form of like door in here. I guess it kind of depends on how much room we have below and on top. But yeah, I'm really liking that. So let's take one more fly over here and take a look at these side panels. I think they came out pretty cool. A little smaller than the top, just the way we wanted it. And yeah, so it is now time to move on to the landscaping of this area. Now that's a bit of a problem because one of the designs that I really wanted to do in this area requires a resource that I don't have, and it's not the easiest to come by. We're gonna have to fight the dragon. Yeah, that's right. You heard that right. We're gonna have to fight the dragon. We need dragon's breath. I don't know if you guys know yet what I have planned, but just think about it. Why would we need dragon's breath to create something landscape-wise? In the comments, I want to know, what is your prediction? Hashtag predictions. It's something really cool. I mentioned it at the beginning of the season. I bookmarked a specific video from a hermit who made this thing, and I've been saving it for the skyscraper landscape, and it's time to do that. I just kind of forgot that you need dragon's breath and a whole lot of resources to make this happen. So yeah, we're off to the end to fight the dragon. And last time I fought the dragon, you could find that on Twitch, by the way. It was a disaster. So I'll meet you in the end. I spent a good 2 minutes here contemplating, should I or should I not place this bed down? Because I kind of forgot, is this in the end in the actual nether, or is this in the overworld? Cub, you disguised this so well, I was very confused, and I put that bed down with shaking hands. All right, here we go. Welcome back to the city, and look at how much dragon's breath we have now. But you know what took me longer to figure out, getting the dragon, getting supplies, things along those lines, was figuring out how to make this particular form of potion, these lingering potion bottles. That was quite a feat. It turns out you need gunpowder, and I just kept putting the dragon's breath and the actual potion in there. Another issue that I have is I had this great vision for what I want to make, but I kind of forgot how hard it is to make certain potions if those are specific colors you want as particle effects. So that's a bit of an issue, so we'll see how it goes. In the end, I might only be able to make maybe 1 or 2 of these things that I want to make, so, over time we can make more as we're able to get more potions and things for the build. So we're up here in the tree looking down over where we're going to work today. So what I'm going to do now, I think, is just start up making some basic perimeters. So this line right there is kind of a basic perimeter. That lines up perfectly with the end of the sidewalk before it starts to slope into the tunnel. I'm going to take that line and I'm going to kind of cut back a little bit on some of the green here so it goes straight across, and then start to kind of work out this lawn so that kind of follows that same pathway across. One of the other issues I have is finding a way of connecting this pathway from the door and figuring out how to like meander itself into this. What in the world? Oh, I was like, what hermit is over here? I'm alone. I'm haunted. Anyway, so take that pathway and somehow meander it down into this area so it kind of hooks up with our sidewalks. So that's an issue. Finding enough potions to make my little fountain things. So yeah, I have a lot of work to figure out right now. Also, once we do make this wall going across here, we're going to have so many variations of height. So this is a height level. This is going to be a height level. And there's going to be another one in the middle. And trying to kind of blend those together with retaining walls, and trees, and plants is going to be quite the challenge. But I think we're up to it, my friends. So give me a few minutes. Let me see if I can make a little magic happen. Start lining up some things. And hopefully we can get this landscape done so we can make our little potion things, because those are going to be quite amazing. Welcome back, and as you can see, there is a little bit of progress down below on the landscaping, but this is a little harder than, whoa, wow, I almost died there. This is a little harder said than done here. So as you can see, we have these planter beds kind of working their way downward towards the entrance of the tunnel. This section right across here is a great place for trees and potentially our fountain design, things along those lines, but it does dip down from the baseline terrain height that is right over here. So that does dip down a little bit, and then we can do lawns and things in this area, or potentially water. Like that could just be a gigantic fountain. So there is definitely a lot of possibilities in terms of design, but it is very difficult to kind of line everything up. So trying to get all of these lines to correspond, you know, across the bridge and under the tunnels and connect with the pathways from the buildings, all these little things are incredibly difficult. See, this thing up here is 2 blocks above this platform right there. So I have to build something else in this area, a walkway that kind of goes around here and still somehow connects within the network of sidewalks along the road. So man, this is a bit of a challenge, but I do think we've actually kind of broken through here in this, and I think we are making some progress. I mean, Bob the Creeper building inspector's here already taking a look, and mind you, there's nothing for him to be upset about. Everything lines up and is symmetrical, just the way we like it. So yeah, there's lots more work to do. I just wanted to give you kind of a brief update. This wall is a little bit gray, like it's a little too gray. So one of the things I thought is potentially we could push back this wall by 1, use this as a border, and then take some gray concrete and, you know, put it in behind there. That might be an idea. But we'll definitely be covering up a lot of this gray. So definitely don't worry about all the gray that you can see, because it's going to be covered up by our trees, our plants, and our flowers, and all sorts of other things. So let me go back to the drawing board, continue to work this out, and I'll see you in just a moment. And there it is. We have the perimeter shape built up, and all of the road sections are now complete. That was quite a little marathon of getting all these blocks placed down. And some of the areas like right here was a little tricky because we don't have any of our tree planters, which I definitely still want to build some of those right there just to kind of tie in the trees on this side of the road, because we don't have any on this and it just looks a little odd that way. Anyway, so we have this thing set up and ready to roll, and I think it is looking very fine. So that is good. Now, this whole section here, what do we do with it? So I've been going back and forth. So this took about an hour and a half to assemble all this down here, and it gave me a lot of time to think. And I really feel like a water feature is what the city needs. We have massive areas of green and trees and different things along those lines, but we don't have, you know, a central river or some kind of like water. And I think that's what we need to kind of soften up some of these hard lines of the modern structures. So this is what we're going to do. Oh man, I hope this works out. So each one of these areas becomes a pond. Now, how do we make this slightly unique? So this is where this little structure over here comes into play. So let's pop over here, and as you can see, down below the water line, we have some terracotta. So if we could take some of this terracotta, maybe this one, or what's the other one? It looks like the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. Maybe that's cyan? I forgot which one it was, but I definitely know this is light blue. So we take that design and we do that as the flooring, so it looks like some kind of beautiful mosaic, tiling underneath the water surface. And then we take that fountain design with the arrows. That's the whole thing I've been trying to get to today, is that design, and put those, maybe 3 or 4 of them in a row, and we have those going off on all sides of the skyscraper. Now that right there, I think could be a cool design. Now, the tricky part of this whole thing is leveling this off. So as of right now, we are 3 blocks from this surface. So we need to create a structure on this level, right? So, you can walk right into the building. Well, let me do that in front of the actual doorway. There we go. So we need to make something at this level. Let's do it right off the center here. There we go. So it's nice and lined up. So we need something at this level right here. So that leads this portion right here. I need to think of something to kind of, I don't know, some kind of lip, if you will, right? So we had the wall going up, so that would be this gray right here. It comes up and it needs kind of like a little lip, which then becomes the kind of surface up here where the walkways and things along those lines that leads into the skyscraper are. How does that sound? I know that was a lot to take in. I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to this stuff. Like, I'm like, okay, we're going to go up 2 levels and then we're going to maintain surface level. It's just the whole thing. So I think this is going to work. Now, all these surfaces of green, and you'll see these everywhere. Anywhere you see grass, that is where the planters are going to be. That's where flowers, trees, bushes, things along those lines are going to go. And that'll, of course, soften up some of these hard edges of the concrete or hardened clay. Wow, that's a lot to kind of take in, because that's going to be a lot of work. I do not know how much we're going to be able to get to, because I'm getting close to like 10 o'clock at night, and I still need about 2 hours to edit, render, and upload. So, and I really want this video to go out on Wednesday. So we'll see how much I can get done, but I've been working on this all day, but I know it's totally worth it, because this is going to be the centerpiece. So yeah, once you look at this, look at that little shape right there. And each section being a little water feature with fountains. And if the arrow jumping up and down doesn't actually work, we could totally make up our own fountain. It's totally easy. I love these little fountains made out of glass. We did that for Impulse in season 4. So let me see if I can make a prototype of one of these fountains right over here. And yeah, this might be a lot of work, but I think it's going to be worth it. Welcome back, and let's take a quick fly upwards and see what we've done with these ponds. So on the right and the left, we have our fountain ponds along the sides of the skyscraper. Now, there is some differences in these two, of course, so let's kind of take a look. This one is a very plain pool. It just has a standard, gray bottom, and I think it's actually 2 blocks deep. I was testing that. Now, this one over here is the one we talked about together, and that is the glazed terracotta. And I think it looks nice up close. When we're down here and you look over there, it kind of looks nice, right? It's got a nice little look to it, but from a high up distance, I just don't think it looks super nice. So let's pop up to the air a little bit, and you guys can kind of take a look. It feels a little busy. The pattern kind of gets a little bit much in its design, but I still do. Ooh, I almost killed myself again. But I do like the design. So I'm going to put it up to you guys. This is choice A, glazed terracotta. This is choice number B. And of course, this is kind of the flat bottom. This is the flat bottom. So let me know what one you guys like best. So choice A, glazed terracotta. Choice 2, flat bottom. Choice B. So let me know on that. And of course, I have added some trees along the side. So I think that is looking really fantastic. And if we fly on down here, you'll notice that I have installed some plants in the planter beds over here. And I've kind of moved on to day 2 on this. I wanted this to go up Wednesday, but it looks like we're going to push it to a Thursday, because I just want some more time to work on these things. And I think we're getting there. So these flower beds are all installed with, plants and flowers. So that's really nice. This is the part that I really want to get finished for this episode. And we need to figure out a way where this pathway is going to go. And it just doesn't line up with anything very easily. So as you can see, it comes out of the doorway, and it kind of could work this way, but then it runs up into the pond. I'm not sure how I could do it going out this way, because it would interfere with our planter beds and our lawns and our existing sidewalks. I just don't know. It's driving me insane because I don't know how to connect this pathway with these other areas. Everything has so many different elevations that it's tricky. It's definitely tricky, but I think we'll get it. So give me a few more minutes. Let me see about landscaping this front area. And finally, we could do our wrap-up tour of this design. Also, may I point out, these are where the fountains are going to go. I'm still working on getting resources for the potions. That is incredibly difficult, so we might unfortunately not get to those today, but I'm doing my absolute best. Welcome back, and the front of the skyscraper is now complete, looking super fancy. So let's swoop across here, and as you can see, I have removed the glazed terracotta, just trying to get an idea of how this all looks. Also learned that the beacons don't affect glazed terracotta, so that was a lot of work to remove that. But I think it's looking good. So of course, if you guys do like the glazed terracotta, please vote. So that was choice A. Choice B is what the two ponds look like now. The reason that I took it out is I want to do a little bit of testing off camera, potentially only having squares of the terracotta here and there in there. So I'm going to definitely test that out and see how that looks, but please let me know which one you like best. And then of course we've got the front built up. Now the one thing you've noticed is that sidewalk there does not connect to the main sidewalk system throughout Scarlandia. I'm going to still work on that, but for now it's an elytra access. Only elytra access to that sidewalk. And I think the lawn's looking good. Of course, we'll move the torches underground. The plants are built up along the sides. I think that is excellent. Now, of course, I was not able to get to the fountains quite yet. I'm still working on getting the resources necessary. I wanted to do green because it really shows up very clearly, but unfortunately, I do not have the resources capable of having that many of the green tipped arrows. So I'm going to work on a couple other colors and then gather those resources. We're going to need so many of them, but it is truly going to be worth it. Absolutely fantastic. Loving every moment of it. Let's take one more look from above. Haha, that's it. Looking really, really fantastic. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. That was quite a marathon of an episode. We fought the dragon. We built another section on the skyscraper. And of course, we did this landscaping in the front, which I think is looking really well. So until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and I always really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. And if you believe the videos are rating, that would be much appreciated. And until next time, we'll see you later. And don't forget to subscribe, because you may just become scarred for life.